Hello and welcome to part two of the LinkedIn Sales Operating the System. In this session today, we're going to walk through some really important steps. And by the end of the session, everything that you received in part one is really going to come into full perspective, and you're going to learn how to utilize all of the tools and resources and frameworks that I'm giving you. So let's dive straight in. This is part two of the LinkedIn Sales Operating the System. So in this session today, we are going to cover four main points, which are the power of client engagement. I'm going to go through what it is, why it works, and how to steal customers. Yes, how to steal customers with client engagement. And then we're going to go into part two, which is the right way of prospecting. I've prospected over 10,000 plus people, closed over 3,000 deals on the LinkedIn platform alone in the past 9-10 years. So I know a thing or two about the right way of prospecting, and I'm going to show you all with the tools and resources that you already have inside the LinkedIn Sales Operating the System, how to identify your real target audience, connecting with your target audience, and gaining their attention and interest. Once we've done that, we're going to have an interactive session, and we're going to go through successfully booking meetings, the three methods, utilizing sales content, and the consistency factor. And finally, we're going to end with the first sales call. We're going to begin by structuring the first sales call, understanding what questions we have to ask, and also developing the post-call actions. So if everyone's okay with that, we're going to dive straight in, and we're going to begin with the power of client engagement. Now, I have to take a moment to thank Gary Vaynerchuk for this, because in 2020, maybe 2 weeks into COVID, subject we all don't like to talk about, I shut down my business because I honestly, I didn't have any confidence, or I weren't comfortable to sell to people. A lot was going on. I recently came to Poland from England as a guest. Me and my then fiance, now wife, came here as a holiday, and I didn't plan on being in there for my whole entire life. But thanks to COVID, I now have the best life ever. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Gary Vaynerchuk was hosting something every single morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time during COVID called Tea with Gary V. And then on Easter, he put out a post on the LinkedIn platform to essentially say, I'm not going to host a Tea with Gary V tomorrow because it's Easter and I'm going to spend time with my kids. There were hundreds and hundreds of people commenting in that post to say, I hope you have a lovely time. But it was also a lot of other people that were kind of disappointed, and they were like, I really need this. I was really excited for this. So what I decided to do was reply to all of the comments. So this is where client engagement was born. Because on the back end of this, I was inviting people to have tea with Zachy D, which is me, Zach Derris, the very next day. And I think I easily messaged maybe over 70 people. We had about 30 people join the call the very next day. We continued this at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, so about half an hour after Tea with Gary V was complete. And at its peak, we had about 112 people in the room. And the purpose of this was just to support other people that were going through being alone during COVID, to share some life skills and examples and survival skills about how to live in your house, not go outside, and all of this stuff. But on the back end of all of this, I landed my first full-time client in 2020, which we ended up working together for a year and a half. Why? Because I was engaging in the comments of someone's post. So what is client engagement? Before I show you live what it is, I'm going to just explain. Client engagement is a process of captivating the attention of your prospects by adding value to their LinkedIn content. The way that you do this is you identify the prospect for engagement, you scroll down to their activity, you click on see all activity, you make sure that it's going to be toggled on posts, and you're going to see all of this in a second live. And you're going to like and comment on their content. You're going to add lots of value inside the comments. You're going to do the same thing for their company page, and then you're going to message them about their content. Now, a lot of you who have used automation tools and AI and stuff like that to connect with individuals, you're probably going to think, wow, Zach's asking me to spend 10 to 15 minutes per lead. I 100% am. Because what would you rather? Prospecting 200 people a week and only one person responding, or prospecting 3 or 4 a day and actually booking 3 or 4 meetings per day? So this is what it is going to look like. And if for any reason you cannot hear the background music, put a thumbs up or just drop me a message in the chat. And if you don't like the background music, so we're identifying a person's post, we're reading through the content in a lot of detail, and we're genuinely adding value. We're engaging in other comments from other people, and we just continue in this process for the next few minutes, because the goal is to really captivate their attention. So this particular post, they're asking people to give their examples of how their life has changed. I'm copying the questions and I'm answering the questions in the comments. And a lot of you will come to notice I had a spelling mistake. That was intentional. The reason why it was intentional, because people make spelling mistakes and I want them to know that I'm human. Again, just reviewing more content, actually taking the time to watch the video content that they put out, commenting on something from the video rather than just the post. And utilizing GIFs is also a really nice way of being able to captivate their attention further. So I'm just going to pause here and show you. Once I've engaged in their content and I've genuinely added a lot of value, I'm going to send them a message. I'm going to tell them specifically what I liked about their content. And based on my initial review that we did in the sales, the navigator guide inside the system, I've already qualified that they are a potential prospect for me. So I'm going to let them know that it will be great to have a chat and see how we can help each other grow. It's a mutual connection. There will be a bait and switch situation when it comes to conversations like this, because the individual, them being a coach themselves, they may think that I may require coaching services or we would like to collaborate together. But I've generated a lot of information about how I can personally improve their content based on engaging in the content that they produce. So a lot of you may not have been able to hear me when I was talking over the music. So what I am going to do over here is I'm just going to mute this and really quickly walk you through again my comments that I was making. So as I mentioned on the left-hand side over here, I'm identifying their content. I'm genuinely reading and I'm going to watch any of the video content that they've produced, because the comments that I want to release needs to show that I've added a lot of value. You'll also come to notice that I'm going to be engaging and liking the comments from other people, because that boosts the engagement. And I'm going to talk about in a moment why this process works. So as you can see, I'm just taking the time, genuinely adding value, answering questions that they have asked inside their content, because this way they're going to have a good understanding that Zach is genuinely interested in the content that I put out. So the major question, why does this work? Let's just go back to full screen. Okay, 3 main reasons. Reason number 1, it increases their engagement. 90% of people who post content do not generate a lot of engagement. Content creation is time consuming. By contributing to their engagement, you're increasing their visibility of their content, and they're going to appreciate you for that. It's a nice way to develop trust. Thousands of people, all of us receive spammy prospecting messages every single week. These are because they do not take the opportunity, these people who spam with messages, they do not take the opportunity to actually get to know people that they are pitching. And by performing client engagement, you set yourself apart from the rest of the competition. No matter if you have a B2C mindset or a B2B mindset, or even if you're just like marketing part of your corporate company, by engaging in people's content, you are going to stand out. And finally, adding value. This is the best way, in my opinion, to be able to build relationships. The prospect sees the amount of time that you are dedicating to developing the relationship, and they will prioritize you in their response over the other pitches that they're getting inside their inbox. Again, in my opinion, including myself as a content creator, every content creator has an ego. This is how you can tap into that ego. So, you heard me say 10 minutes ago, stealing customers with client engagement. It's possible because the more that you are, just clarifying, can everyone hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Maybe a thumbs up?
Hello, yep.
Yeah, hear you.
Okay, cool. I apologize. Great. I just saw a message. I wasn't sure. Great. So you heard me about 10 minutes ago say that you can steal customers with client engagement. And honestly, did you really think I was going to give you all of these processes and frameworks and not show you the greatest hack of all time? This is one of the ways that I can maybe guarantee at least 20,000 euros every single year from this process. It's cheeky, it's not illegal, it works really well. The competitor's never, ever going to know. And this is how you do it. So if you implement these steps and you can tap into the fans and clients of your competitors, you're going to be able to build relationships with them, add value, book meetings, and close deals. So I'm going to go through this really slowly in case anyone in the room would like to perform these steps one by one. But the first step, and keep in mind, this is how you can steal customers with this process. So the first step is going to linkedin.com, clicking in the search bar, and then just hitting enter. That's all you do. And then once you've come to this new page, you want to click the people button, as you can see, which is highlighted on the screen. The third step is you want to click on all filters. Once you've done that, you want to review the options. Once you've done that, you want to review the options on the pop-up that has appeared right over here. And then the first thing that you want to do, and there are two variations of actually going ahead to do this, but you want to click into connections of, and then you want to type in the name of a first connection. You must be connected to them, but a first connection that you may deem as a competitor. And you type that in right here in the connections of section. Alternatively, if you're not connected to your competitors, which a lot of you may not be, you can go for the other option, which is to view who is a follower of an individual. So I'm going to use Alex Hormozi as an example. I'm going to type in his name, and then based on the filters and options that I'm going to implement, it's going to show me all the people within my ideal customer profile that have gone to follow Alex Hormozi. Now, he has over 150,000 followers on LinkedIn, I believe. So it's essential for me that I can get this as refined as possible, and maybe have a list of around 1,000 people that I can save and I can prospect whenever I want to utilize it. Because I'll then be able to utilize Alex Hormozi as a brand, as an icebreaker, as a common interest during our pitch conversation. Once you've selected either the connection of the person or the person of that you want to target in terms of who their followers are, in the connections section, you want to select either second or third connections. Because the person that you're already connected to, you've probably already pitched, so there's no point. And then, really refining out the ICP and understanding your demographic, you need to enter the locations of the people that you want to target. So as we discussed in the sales operating the system, everybody knows where they can sell to the most. These are mine, so these are the locations that I have selected. And now what we're going to do is you have to scroll down. It's not very clear on LinkedIn, but this toolbar that does pop up does allow you to scroll up and down. So we're going to scroll down and identify the industry section. And then we're going to enter your key industries. These are the industries that you want to target. Once you've done this, you want to scroll down to service category and do exactly the same thing. A lot of you may be thinking industry and service is essentially the same thing, but based on how people have created their profiles, they may not have detailed correctly where their industry is or what service they correctly sell. So it's best to just opt into both options, put all your information in there to make sure you can identify the right people. So I've gone ahead and I've done my ICP categories, which are my ideal customer profiles. And as you all know, as I mentioned in the last recording, coaches, consultants, marketing agencies, that's what I'm going for. Now that I've done this, I can go to keywords, which is just underneath the service category, and I can enter in the job title. Now, if you remember when we were going through the service development section and the data development section of part 1 of the system, a Boolean search is going to really help you refine a better category of individuals that you want to target. So what I've done in this particular instance is I want to have a look at founders or CEOs or coaches. So the Boolean search is essentially using the inverted commas with the words and, or the word or a plus sign or a minus sign, depending on what you want to utilize. Inside the Sales Nav framework, I detail in text a lot of information about understanding how Boolean searches are and how they work. So I've entered this information in, as you can see over here. And now I'm going to go ahead and show results. And as you can see, out of 150,000 followers that I'm telling you he has, 920 of them fit into my ideal customer profile. So with the skills that we've just gained with client engagement, I can click on each of these accounts. I can review their profile, in my head mentally qualify them as a lead, and decide if I would like to prospect them. And if I am going to prospect them, I'm going to engage in their content. I'm going to let them know what I like about their content. But most importantly, I'm going to also have a look at their comments in terms of who they are commenting on. Because if they are commenting on any of Alex Hormozi's posts, where a lot of them are going to be doing so, that's an icebreaker, as I mentioned, that can be utilized. Now, for my Sales Navigator friends, you can also do this on Sales Nav. One of the biggest benefits of going via Sales Nav to do this is that you can specifically have a look at the company headcount and if they have posted on the LinkedIn platform in the past 30 days. And unfortunately, you cannot do that on the free version of LinkedIn. And by taking a look at who's posted on the platform, it shows you who is the low-hanging fruit and who is the easiest for you to be able to start building up a relationship with. Now, the downside of using Sales and the Navigator for this stealing clients process is that you can't have a look at who goes to follow a profile. You can only have a look at who is connected to an individual, which I showed at the beginning over here. I typed in the name of an individual as an example. Once you've done that, you want to make sure that you go ahead and you save this list, because that list, this saved search, is going to be useful for you whenever you want to just do some additional, slightly different prospecting. You have another search that you could go ahead and target. So, just to recap really quickly, client engagement. What is it in a nutshell? It's engaging in other people's profiles. It's giving them so much value in their content that kind of forces them to respond to you because you took the time to appreciate the work that they are putting in. But before we understand the right way of prospecting, which is what we're going to do right now, we must first understand the wrong way of prospecting. And all of us have been guilty of this. And obviously I've blanked out these examples because I don't like to name and shame anyone. However, these are the ways that you are able to damage relationships and not scale your business. So let's take a look at example 1 on the left-hand side. This was a spammy sales pitch. When did I get this? I think I got this like a week ago. And because I didn't respond, I don't even think it was more than 3 or 4 hours. Because I didn't respond, they instantly blocked me. As you can see, their name is completely disappeared. Their profile name is completely disappeared. That's what happens when someone blocks you. So because I didn't respond to their spammy sales pitch, they just decided to go ahead and block me. Why did they even try prospecting me in the first place? I have no idea. But let's have a look at example number 2. This individual, and I love this, they're offering lead generation, but they don't understand the number 1 principle of cold messaging people on LinkedIn, which is if you put more than 1 link, or sometimes even 1 link in a message, in a DM, a direct message to an individual that you haven't ever messaged previously, in his case, he used InMails to be able to do so, the platform's automatically going to throw that message into spam. So I'm not going to see his message because it's fallen into my spam folder. To be able to identify this, I had to, on the rare occasion, go and have a look. I don't think I ever do it, but I decided to go and have a look at what's in my spam for this exercise and did it. And here is the first one that I found. And he's offering lead generation, but he's spamming me with messages. So why would I purchase his lead generation? It's ridiculous. And finally, the example I like to call the clown. The clown is a person who lies to you. If you're trying to get someone to pay you and you genuinely want to build a relationship with them, why would you lie? Why on earth would you lie? It doesn't make sense. The lie was, on November 28th at 4:43, this individual used automation. I have a tool to detect how to do it. And I could just see by the message anyway. He didn't use my name. He wasn't warm. He was just straight in for the kill. I've put on the notification bell so I don't miss any of your posts, right? He's been connected to me for maybe a couple weeks. It was a cold connection message as well. And he hasn't ever engaged any of my content. And because of his location is so specific, I'm able to see on the analytics of a post, the locations of the majority of the people. His location, it hasn't appeared at all. So I just instantly responded, you didn't use automation to send that out to me, did you? Because there's no way you turned on my notification bell. He's just trying to get people to turn on his bell for notifications. So I gave him a challenge and I was like, if you are active right now, and if you reply to me in 60 seconds, right, I guess I was wrong and I will massively apologize and I'll just go ahead and engage in all of his content to apologize. But I was not wrong. 3 days later, 2 days afterwards, he was like, no, of course I didn't. My feed is just clustered with people's posts that don't resonate with me. So I want to turn on the bell to those who do. That was the case, ladies and gentlemen. Why is this person never engaged in my content? So the moral of that story is don't use automation and do not lie. Nice and simple. So moving on, we got the wrong way of prospecting out of the way. What's the right way? identifying your real target audience. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You have 4 of the best frameworks in the world to be able to identify your target audience. So you're all going to get this presentation at the end of the workshop today, and you'll be able to have access because you already have the framework and the systems, but you'll be able to just click inside this presentation on each of the blue links, go directly to the Sales Navigator framework, the Apollo user manual, the Crunchbase framework, and the only document you're getting today, I promise you, the booking, the meetings and engagement guide. I have included this in the sections that were highlighted in yellow in the document that you all received last week. It's no longer highlighted in yellow, and you can go ahead and access the booking meetings guide. And I'm going to be walking you all through today how this guide works. So, speaking of booking meetings, how do you connect and garner the attention of other people? We must understand that the only way to build relationships with individuals in 2024 is by engaging, is by adding value. And the tools that you need to utilize, which are also highlighted and clickable in this presentation, is the Sales the Navigator framework, the messages and scripts that you need to complete, and the booking meetings and engagement guide, which is a new guide. So let's just have a look at this. The following is a detailed breakdown on how to correctly engage. You may want to turn up your volume if you had it down previously, but I'm just going to go ahead and play this. The following is a detailed breakdown on how to correctly engage and connect with your target audience, which is going to set the precedent for you booking a meeting with the following steps. First thing that you want to do is go over to LinkedIn, then click onto the Sales Navigator Compass, and then you want to go ahead and click on your leads list that you have created in part 1 of the LinkedIn Sales Operating System. You want to go to the leads list that you want to target, and then you want to start working your way through each of these individuals that you have already qualified. Let's start with this individual. To begin with, we're going to open up their profile in a new tab. And then, as I've mentioned previously, we're not going to perform any activity out of Sales Navigator. We're only going to utilize it as a lead generation tool. So we're going to click on the 3 dots over here, and then we're going to click on View LinkedIn Profile. And now here is our opportunity to really add value before we go ahead and connect with this individual. So I can see instantly they're an AI consultant, they focus on Gen AI, they have their own startup, they've previously worked at some very large companies. So first thing that I'm going to do is go down to her activity section, which is right over here. First thing that catches my attention is that they're not consistent with content, which may cause an issue for us in the engagement process. And if you ever come across a situation where people haven't posted content, click on comments, because often or not, people comment more than they actually post. So you'll be able to click on these comments, you can add value to these comments, and that works twofold, because the person who they're engaging with, they're going to be able to see that you have placed a comment on their post, and this particular individual is going to be able to see that you liked and you added a comment to their comment. But for the purpose of this individual does have content, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on Show All Posts. We're going to make sure the green button is selected on Post. I'm going to take our time to read the content that they have produced. And I've got everything that I need to go ahead and make a valuable comment. But just as some additional inspiration, I want to see what other people are saying as well. And one more thing I want to do is I want to click on likes and see if anyone who I am connected with has liked the post, because if they have, then I could maybe use that to my advantage and say at Alan cheers for liking this post and bringing it to my attention. So that's kind of like a warm intro into the post rather than going in cold, but it's content and it's public, so anyone can go ahead and engage in it. So I'm going to do this. First thing that you always want to do is tag this person. If you just hit the @ sign, their name will automatically appear and you can tag them. And I'm just going to make sure that I can actually watch the recording. Looks like this may be a blog rather than a recording. Cool. No, this is the full thing.
He's slow, but you know.
Great. Fantastic. So cool. So I'm just adding a lot of value, as you can see over here. Tweaking to the ego of the content creator as well is always very valuable. And just to make sure that like she understands that I am genuinely interested in her, I'm just going to be engaging in her comments. Now, a lot of you may say this is overwhelming, but at the end of the day, you're adding value to people's content, and that goes a long way, and they may give you more attention than those who are not engaging in their content. Occasionally, what will happen is those who aren't getting a lot of content engagement, they may connect with you before you connect with them if you're performing a lot of engagement. So the next post, an absolute pleasure to be part of another webinar. This is really cool. I'm just going to write something simple here. You're crushing it with the webinars. Melanie, going to tag her name again. And obviously, she doesn't have any comments on this, so she is going to pay attention to this, which is great. Unfortunately, only group members can go ahead and comment on that, so not much I can do. But she's also posted it on her personal profile. AI in video, tune in today. Join me at 5 p.m. for Paper Cups webinar. Cool, so I'm gonna write here. Let me just have a look at the first one. Okay, so it's all related, and she is pushing this one quite a lot, which is great. So I'm just going to go ahead and again and that's about all I need right now. I've done about 3 posts, which is great, but what I want to go ahead and do is go back to her profile, take a look at her active positions, go and follow her company page, because of the fact that more than likely she's the only employee. Yep, so she's the owner of the company page, so she's going to get the notification to say Zach has followed your company page. See if she has any recent posts, which she does, which is cool. It's just a repost of OpenAI. I'm going to write down, how did I miss this? Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And Gen Futures Lab. Boom. Now I can take it a step further. I'm going to learn more, see if it pushes me over to a website. Go all the way down to the bottom of the website, see if there's any other social media links, which there isn't in this case. Sometimes it will be under different sections, but they're only active on LinkedIn, which is totally cool. If they did have a Twitter account or an Instagram account, I would do exactly the same thing. But the really nice thing about me coming over to her website is I've identified her Calendly page. So if I wanted to be a little bit forward, I can just go ahead and book myself a meeting and then just get straight into the pitch because she's made her Calendly public, and you can take advantage of that. But now we're going to go ahead and utilize the messaging and scripts process that you all have access to, and we're going to decide what type of connection request message we can utilize in this instance. But before we go ahead and do that, it's really important to try and identify her email address. Now, unfortunately, in this particular situation, their settings shows that their surname is only going to be visible for their first connections. So again, just going to go ahead to this post and see if they've said her name when they're introducing her, and there we go. Power of the internet. So Melanie, M-O-E-L-L-E-R, got that over there. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead to Apollo, see if I can grab an email address from Apollo for her, because I just want to have this information ready before I go ahead and send the connection request, so I can go straight in with the email notification as well. Let's do a search for her. So I'm also going to have a look because I'm not entirely sure which one of these it is. So one thing that you can do is just scroll through the experience, see if there's anything else. We've got Crowd Potential, Sky and Gem Futures Lab that we can consider. None of these seem like it's the right person. Maybe it will be this. Nope, that just takes you over to Upwork. So let's have a look over here. Nope, not this one. So one thing is I can see, oh, there we go, her name was in the URL of the LinkedIn. So I'm just going to really quickly highlight each of these and just see if it is the one that we're looking for. There is a lot of due diligence that you have to want to put in place in situations like this if you really are keen on building a relationship with someone and closing them for some business. So it doesn't look like we have our Melanie, which is okay because we have the company search as well. So we're going to go ahead and write Gen Futures Lab, see if anything comes up. Looks like we have it, and we're going to click on people, and there we go. But unfortunately there is no email address, so we won't be able to use the email one message, which is completely fine because as and when they do accept our connection request, we may be able to gain access to that email address. But because of the fact that we have produced a lot of engagement on our content, we are more than likely going to get some engagement. Now before I go ahead and do that connection request, I'm going to see anyone out of the 40 connections that she shares with me if I'm like really friendly with. I have a couple of people already that I've noticed. So what I could do is I could send a message. Yeah, there's a lot of people here. I could send a message to any of these individuals and be like, hey, I just came across Melanie Moller and I'm really interested in connecting with her. If I don't get a response from her within the next couple of days and I let you know, would you be cool with making a group chat introduction? Because as I said, I'm keen to have a chat with her. So there we go. That's not a bad route. And occasionally you will have to use it. So right now, we're just going to click on more, click connect, click add note, and I'm going to write, hi, I'm going to write Melanie. Shocked that we haven't previously connected. I'm half an hour into your recent webinar. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. I host live events on a regular basis on LinkedIn and would love to chat to see if you would, I think you would be a good fit for my community to come and share your knowledge. Now this is an awfully long message. I don't normally go this long, but I can tell because of the fact from a psychological perspective, this person really appreciates their presence being seen. So I'm going to leverage the fact that I utilize live events to scratch her ego, to get her on a conversation with me, that I can talk about my live events, potentially her being a guest on a live event, but then do a bait and switch and then go in for the sell at the right point. So I just have to shorten this. Shocked we're not already connected. And just review it really quickly. Melanie, shocked we're not already connected. I'm half an hour into your recent webinar. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. I host live events on a regular basis via LinkedIn. I host LinkedIn live events. And would love to chat to see if you would, I think you would, be a good fit for my community to come and share your knowledge. And that's all. I'm just going to go ahead and rock with that. And if we had an email, we'll go ahead to our email. We'll send her a message that says, hi, Emily. Hi, Melanie. Just sent you a connection request on LinkedIn. Looking forward to connecting with you. And there we go. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the right way of connecting with people on LinkedIn. Now, couple things that's really important, because I don't like to lie, and I actually had a little bit of guilt after I did this. I decided to watch her whole entire podcast that same night, and it was actually really, really, really good. Now, just a show of hands, right? How many of you think that this process, it doesn't work? Be completely honest. You know, be honest if you think this isn't going to work and I'm not going to get a meeting from this. No one. Well, guess what? Surprise, surprise, it actually did work. On the very rare occasion, right, someone may take so much value from the engagement that you've provided and the way that you've reached out to them that they may drop you their Calendly link, and they may be the person that initiates the Zoom call or the Google Meet call. This is so rare. This is like a 1 out of 100 opportunity that's going to happen. And thankfully, I don't know, the world was aligned and they really did want me to show you all the best case scenario for this presentation. So thank you very much to Melanie for doing so. The next phase out of all of this is I'm going to pick up my phone. I'm going to record a video. Even though she gave me her Calendly already, I'm not going to ignore the steps. The steps are essential that you complete every single step, because why should you not give as much value just because they've taken the initiation to speak to you? Still show them the power of communication by them working and communicating with you, because it will go a long way in the future. So what's going to happen is today, tomorrow, I'm going to pick up the phone, going to record a video, and I'm just going to say, hi, Melanie, appreciate you connecting and for giving me your Calendly link. Again, I had a look at the whole entire podcast, and then I'm going to name a couple things that I really like that she specifically spoke about, because it was a panel of a bunch of people. And then I'm going to tell her, I'm going to book in a meeting on your calendar for next week. I look forward to talking to you. She got the engagement, she got the connection request, she sent me her Calendly, I sent her a recorded video of myself. So by the time we got on the call, she may ask me why I sent that video. And that's a great way for me to dive into the pitching process. Now, how do you edit your content? This is the number one question. How many of you in the room have an Android? If you have an Android, put up a heart emoji. If you have an iPhone, put up the thumb emoji. Okay, cool. Kind of like a 50-50 split. I'm going to show you two things. CapCut is for the individuals that have an Android, and Captions is what I would recommend if you have an iPhone. And this is how you edit your content, the whole entire process with both applications. The following is a detailed tutorial on how to use CapCut to add subtitles to your prospecting videos. First of all, you want to open up the CapCut app, click on New Project, and then go ahead and select the video that you want to add subtitles to. The following is a detailed video on how to use either CapCut or Captions to add subtitles right here on your videos that you're going to send to your prospects. Enjoy. Then you just click add, and then the first thing that you want to notice is the text button. You click on that, you click on auto captions, and then you just hit start. It will take a few moments for it to completely analyze with AI your video. And now you can see subtitles have been generated on your video, but that's not all we want to do. We want to just use both of your thumbs and push your thumbs apart so you stretch the video length out. And then you just want to position it so it's at the start of the subtitles. Now click on the video and then hit that split button. Click back on the first part that you want to delete and then delete that. And when you hit play, the following is a detailed video. It goes straight into the video where the subtitles start. But now we have to go ahead and edit the subtitles. So before you edit the subtitles, you want to change the style. What I would recommend is going for a capitalized font because it's easier to read and consume. So I normally go for bangers, but if you don't like this, you don't have to use that at all. And now you want to increase the length that you want the text to be, and ideally position it in between your chin and your chest. Preferably right in the middle of the screen if you can, because that's where people's attention is going to be focused. But let's just put it right there. And now we want to click on batch edit, and we don't want each of the sentences to overlap the screen at all. So we're just going to take a moment to quickly edit by hitting that return button on each of the sentences. So the sentence length is a much shorter sentence length. And now we can reduce the size of the video by bringing our thumbs back together. And then we can cut this wherever we want, again, just by tapping on the video, clicking split, clicking delete. And now if we were to play the video in full screen, the following is a detailed video on how to use either CapCut or captions to add subtitles right here on your videos that you're going to send to your prospects. Enjoy. One important thing to note, because I was screen recording, the sound was a little bit glitchy, but on the final product of the video, the sound is not glitchy. And that's exactly what we want. So at this stage, we're just going to hit this download button. You can obviously change the download resolution if you wanted to, but as it relates to LinkedIn, I would always recommend 1080p, 60 on the frame rate, keep the code rate as it is, and then just hit that download button. It will take a moment to export this. And now what you could do at this stage is imagine that you have taken a screenshot of a logo of a company. Let's just go ahead and use Google logo as an example. Load one of Google's logos if it lets me. Cool. Then I want to head over to InShot. I want to upload the video, the one that I just added subtitles to. And then wherever I'm going to say the name of the company, let's just imagine it's right there. You know, let's just take a better screenshot. There we go. And then I'm just going to click on sticker again, click on that picture, choose from camera roll, choose the logo, position the logo exactly where you want it. Use the alignment codes that it gives you, then full screen this, tap in so you remove the toolbar at the bottom, take a screenshot, align the screenshot box so it's only showing you the image itself. Click on done, save this, and then really quickly just make sure, click onto the option for the logo again, and then just reduce it so it's at the perfect length that you're saying the company name. Now, one thing that's really important while you're here is that when you're utilizing CapCut, the free version, puts their logo and company name at the very end. So you want to just align this there, click on the video, and then go ahead and split this video and delete the CapCut logo from the end, because otherwise your work's just going to look sloppy. Then go to the very beginning of the video, click the plus sign, click photo, select your thumbnail, add that to the beginning. Just pay attention and make sure that there's no black lines at the top or the bottom. In this case there is, so I'm going to go over to canvas. I'm going to just slowly zoom in a touch, and that's great. And now again, just like we did on CapCut, we're going to make sure that we're using both thumbs to stretch out the video. And then we're going to go ahead and split this around here, which should be at the 2-second point, because now it's going to show as a thumbnail on the video. And that's exactly what we want. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to save this with the same resolution settings and change format to MP4. Go ahead and save. And now that that's done, we're just going to take a really quick preview of the video. The following is a detailed video on how to use either CapCut or captions to add subtitles right here on your videos that you're going to send to your prospects. Enjoy. And then once we've got that, we're going to go over to LinkedIn. We're going to identify the person that we want to prospect and send the video to. Then you're going to go ahead to the message box. You're going to click either that pen or that paper clip, and you're going to send a photo. Only 12 seconds long. It should only take a minute. Once we've got that, we're going to go over to LinkedIn. We're going to identify the person that we want to prospect and send the video to. Then you're going to go ahead to the message box. You're going to click either that pen or that paper clip, and you're going to send a photo or a video. You're going to upload the video. The following is a... And then you're just going to wait a moment for this to upload. Because the video is only 12 seconds long, it should only take about 20 to 30 seconds for it to upload. And once it's done, you'll be able to play the video within the LinkedIn message box. And this is exactly how your prospect is going to be able to see this video. So let's just go ahead and wait for this to upload. The following is a detailed video on how to use either CapCut or captions to add subtitles right here on your videos that you're going to send to your prospects. Enjoy. And that's it. Okay, so in a moment, we're going to go ahead and take a break. But for the iPhone users, we're going to have a look at how to do exactly the same thing on captions. The following is a detailed tutorial on how to use the Captions app to add subtitles to your prospecting videos. First thing you want to do is head over to Captions, click on Create, click on Import, select the video that you want, review it quickly, make sure it's the right video, and then go ahead and click that Done button once you've reviewed the video. And now you want to continue with one item, and then you want to proceed with English. And now the video is going to upload. It's going to use AI to transcribe the video for you. It will take about a moment to do so. And now you can instantly see that the subtitles are coming straight on the screen, which is exactly what you want. Review this all the way to the end just to make sure this is what you are looking for, and keep your eye out on where the subtitles may be cut off. And we can see here on a couple of occasions the subtitles have gone outside of the screen. The really nice thing about captions is that all the subtitles are aligned. So if you move one subtitle, if you reposition one subtitle, all of them are going to be repositioned. It's got its pros and cons to that. But the other thing that we want to have a look at after we've done that is all of the templates. So we can have a look at the different variations of templates that it gives us. I like the one that I've customized, which is the one on the screen right now. And alternatively, I can click on style and I can go ahead and change the colors if I wanted to. And the platform allows you to do many other really cool things, such as AI zoom, images, eye contact, AI trim. You've also got spotlights and AI emojis and denoiser and AI music. There's so many cool things that you can do on captions. Costs about $10 a month. If you have an iPhone, go ahead and get it. Totally worth the cost. And I'm just going to give it one more review just to make sure this has got absolutely everything that I'm looking for, and it's been positioned and created in a way that's going to be appealing for our prospect. It looks pretty good. One thing you can do is you can click on the video. You can now take a look at the parts where you want to snip. Click that split button, delete it, go to the very front, drag it just before the text starts, click split again, delete the section that you do not want. And that looks like we are good to go. So the next thing that we want to do is just one final check. And now we want to click export and we want to click on advanced options. Don't need to download this in 4K because the resolution will be too big for LinkedIn. So we're just going to change the frame per second to 60. And then when we're ready, we're going to export to camera roll. Take about a few seconds for this to do that. And another nice thing about captions, it can push us straight into our gallery, so we can just go ahead and view in the camera roll, which is great. And now for the final part of the editing process, we want to head over to InShot, just like what we did with CapCut. We want to upload. The following is a detail. And then with CapCut, we want to upload a video that we've just edited and added subtitles to through captions. We want to go ahead to Google, take the logo of the company that we want to add on the video for the thumbnail. So I'm going to do a slightly different logo than the one in the previous video. And now we're going to go back over to captions, identify the area where you want that particular logo to stand. Normally it's going to be around the place where you say the company name. Then we're going to click on the sticker button, upload the sticker, choose the one that we want, position it in absolutely the right place where we want this. So make sure it's aligned perfectly, drag it down if you need to. And now we're going to take a screenshot. Once we've got that screenshot, we're just going to reposition it a little bit just to make sure that it's aligned and there's no black space on either the top or the bottom of the video. And then we're going to head over to the beginning of the video, click that plus sign, click video/photo, upload the thumbnail that we just created. And again, just hit canvas. Zoom in a little bit with your fingers just to get that nicely aligned. Check the video really quickly, and now you want to just zoom in on that photo to get you down to the split screen part, because we want to split this so it's not 5 seconds of a duration, it's only 0.2 seconds, because this way it will show as a thumbnail at the beginning of the video. I can get this down a little bit further. Cool. Yeah, that will do. Perfect. And now once you're happy and you've got your thumbnail, you've got your video, you've got everything that you need, you can go ahead and click that download button, change your frame rate to 60, change the format to MP4, hit download. It will take a moment for it to download. And then for the final section of everything, we want to go and head over to LinkedIn. You want to identify the prospects that you want to send the video to. We're going to do it to Tim, as we've already sent him one. And then you're going to click on the paperclip, click on send a photo or video, select the photo or video that you want. In this case, it's going to be the video. You're going to wait a moment for LinkedIn to upload this for you. And now you can see it has been uploaded. We can click on it, we'll start playing, and you just want to check that it looks good. Even if it doesn't, it's already been sent now, so it is what it is. And there we go. It's that easy. There we go. Give it a try. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and do a break in a moment for about 5 minutes. And to the live participants, I'm going to be here during the break. So if you did want to ask me some questions, that's totally fine. But what we've just learned are the basic principles of absolutely everything you need to change your prospecting game in 2024. This is going to generate you more results. 100%, there is no question about it. Your calendar is going to be filled up with more meetings, just like how I'm going to show you after the break. You're going to be able to successfully speak to people that you're qualifying and you're closing. But the most important thing is your business is going to scale. Because as and when you come to a point where you are hiring more staff, you can show them this exact process, or you can teach them this exact process, and they can do this 10x and book you and the sales team a lot more meetings. So yes, today you may be an independent business owner, or maybe you already have an agency, but this is how you prospect in 2024. Maybe in 2025, I don't know what will happen. We'll be talking to each other through VR goggles, but this is the way you do it. So I'm going to pause the recording now, and at 10 past, I want everyone to, let's say 11 past, I want everyone to come back and we're going to continue. And I'm going to hang around for some questions. Okay, fantastic. So we're back and we're ready to go. So for the next phase of today's workshop, we are going to focus on successfully booking meetings. But before we do that, we have to do a brief recap. Already, with the sales, with the LinkedIn sales operating the system, all the frameworks and everything that you've been provided in part one, you know how to identify your prospects. You can use Sales and the Navigator, Apollo and Crunchbase, and even a little bit of Googling to be able to identify who your prospects are. You've engaged in their content. You've genuinely added so much value to them, and you've engaged with them on other platforms where available. You've sent them a connection request. You've sent them an email to let them know that you've connected. They've accepted your connection. You've thanked them for connecting. You've sent them a video, as we've just gone through. They've responded. Now what do you do? What's next? It's very important that you proceed with the following steps. You continue engaging. Always continue engaging in the content and with them, no matter of the fact that they've already agreed to have a meeting or they've agreed to accept your connection request. You do not stop the engagement process, because if you do, it may show them that, oh, Zach was clearly only interested to get a meeting with me. Is the reason why I'm telling you this, because I've lost meetings in the past because I didn't continue the engagement process. So I split test. I chose 10 people. I engaged initially, got the connection, gave value, and started building a rapport. And out of that, I think 3 or 4 of them, they just ghosted me completely. But for the ones that I continued engaging because I qualified them correctly in the identification process, I booked all the meetings, apart from one, I think. You pull from them. Once you've sent the initial recording of yourself, if they don't agree to have a conversation straight away, you start asking questions about them. You make sure that they are always prioritized, no matter what your feeling is or how much you need to close a deal or like whatever pressure you've put on yourself. It's absolutely essential that you're constantly asking them questions about them. It could be questions about, I noticed you opened your company 3 months ago. How was it going? It could be questions about what struggles are you facing on the LinkedIn platform? I know a thing or two. I'll be happy to share. Use your expertise that you have, and never talk about your expertise unless you're pulling from them and you can find an opportunity to provide them value prior to the call. Because the more value you provide to them prior to the call, the more opportunities you're going to gain to actually have that conversation with them. And you continue adding more value. That's the main thing. Perfect example of this, which I'm going to detail in a moment, is whenever I'm speaking to someone, I always ask them, do they use the LinkedIn platform to be able to generate sales? And if they say no, I'm going to give them some sales content. And you'll understand what that means in a minute, but essentially, I'm going to be showing them my expertise without selling to them. So, finally, after you've given all that value, you've had back and forth conversation, you're pulling from them non-stop, be blunt. Ask them, look, I want to talk to you. You can either detail why, or you can pick up the phone, send an audio note, you can send another video, be like, Tim, it's been really nice talking to you over the past couple of days. I like what you're doing with your business, and me, myself, I offer X, Y, and Z, and I think I can give you a lot of value. Can we talk for 15 minutes on Friday? And then if they say yes, ask them, do you want to give me your calendar or shall I give you mine? Don't always throw your calendar down people's throats. The more you ask people for permission, the more you're going to be able to book meetings. It's that simple. Now, there's 3 methods of booking meetings. The first method is prospecting. We've already gone through this. We know how to identify our ideal customer profile. We know how to engage in their content. And I've just explained what you do in order to get the meeting. The second method is stealing clients. We've gone through this as well at the beginning of this presentation. You can identify individuals who either are connected or they follow an individual that you would compare yourself to or believe you offer a similar skill set or service. And because of the fact that they are either connected or they're already following this individual, that just makes it that much of a warmer prospect. So you can utilize a standard prospecting process with Salesforce, the Navigator, Crunchbase, Apollo, or you can go ahead and just get all your leads by stealing clients. Now, the third method is leveraging comments. This is important because of so many reasons, but the number one reason is there's 2 types of creators on the LinkedIn platform. There's 3 types of creators on the LinkedIn platform. Those that post content, those that comment, and those that post content and comment. The majority of the people in the room that I know who are from the 100 community, you do option 3. You comment and you post because I've taught you this is the only way to really succeed. Because once you're adding value to other people's content, even though they may not be your prospects, right, you increase the visibility of yourself. So I'm going to show you how this is done. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to LinkedIn. And we're going to choose someone like Gary Vaynerchuk, okay? And this is how I'm going to identify potential clients just by taking a look at Gary Vaynerchuk's content and genuinely adding value. And the reason why I'm choosing Gary Vaynerchuk is, yes, on LinkedIn, he's got 5 million followers, which is still massive. But cross-platform, he's got about 20 million followers plus. Gary on Twitter and on Instagram occasionally responds to tweets and to messages, and he may screenshot stuff, and he does manage his own social media the majority of the time. But when it comes to LinkedIn, this guy doesn't respond to his comments. And the likelihood of what I'm about to show you already being done is very high because there may be other people inside these comments that are implementing the tactics and techniques to get clients. So the world's really aligning for us today because he's only posted something 18 minutes ago, which shows me the 17 people who have commented, they are all online right now, or they have just been online on the LinkedIn platform. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my time to review this content. I'm going to pause the video for a second. The video, the caption is, everyone's needs are different. The best leaders are empathetic to the differences and understand that what works for some won't work for others, right? Just like this whole entire sales operating process, it's going to work for the people who implement it step by step, and those who come back to me in a month and they're like, Zach, it didn't work for me, it's because you didn't implement it. It's that straightforward. And he's talking my language right now, so I can add a lot of value to this post. As you can see, I'm excited about it because I know within the next 20 minutes, I'm going to land a client just by showing you all how to do this process. Building good relations with your employees isn't a one-time fix. It's something that's constantly evolving. But if you're leading with care and curiosity about the people working for you, you will get much farther. How to show your employee that you care. This is a 49-second video. There's a screenshot, as I just mentioned. So here's the social proof of a comment on the LinkedIn platform. Someone asked him, how do you share that you care? Is care measured in the size of the bonus or the free coffee? Let's see what's said.
Is care measured in the size of the bonus or the free coffee?
Caring as a language comes in all. Better coffee. For some people, it's a pat on the back.
Share that you care. Is care measured in the size of the bonus or the free coffee?
Caring as a language comes in all forms. For some people, it's money. For some people, it's better coffee. For some people, it's a pat on the back. For some people, it's a promotion. For some people, it's having compassion when they need some time off. There is no one care language. And that's why so many operators and leaders and business owners struggle. They only have one move. They think that if they're giving everyone a raise, everyone should be fucking ecstatic. Well, guess what, fucking asshole? A lot of people don't care just about the money. You can give them a triple raise, but if you make them feel like shit 3/4 of the time, they're not gonna like their job. For a great business, we try to win on everything. The emotions, the imperative side things, the salaries, the titles. You have to realize that everybody has a different care language, and you need to try to fulfill that if you're trying to build something substantial.
If that has not impacted you right now, I don't know what you're doing here. Like, that just had a massive impact on me to a point where I can talk about this for the next 10 minutes or 20 minutes. But rather than me talking about it to you all, I'm going to talk about it in the comments. So enjoy the background music if you hear it, and let's just dive in. So obviously, I'm basing this on true stories, and I've already put a post out about this, so I'm recycling content right now. Cool. So this is my main comment that I'm just putting on the post, and I'm about to show you all a little hack because of the fact that this post was only put out. Sorry about that. Let me just put that on mute. Because of the fact that this post was only put out 17 minutes ago, I know for a fact, because of the amount of engagement that Gary usually receives, this is probably going to get like 500 comments within the next 24 hours. So what I want to do is make sure that my comments that I've just put out is going to be at the very, very, very top of his comments. And previously, the LinkedIn platform allowed the author to pin comments, but for some strange reason, they took that away. And Gary did pin very popular comments or very insightful comments previously, and I did for my audience as well. But one thing I can do is I can love this post, obviously. I can then go to any of my company pages, and I can go ahead and I can find the comment that Zach just put down. And as you can see, how weird is that? Another Zach also commented at the same time as me. But from my company page, I'm just going to go ahead and engage this because the most engaged comment is going to sit at the top of the relevant comments. So I'm going to do this a couple times with a couple of company pages that I have just to guarantee that other people can see my posts, because this tactic of being able to take advantage of comments works twofold. One, directly with the people that I'm about to engage in, that you're about to see, but also for the people that are going to take value from my comment and that are going to reach out to me. So let's just go ahead and identify my most recent comment. I'm just going to add some engagement over here. And these are set tasks that you can do once a week or once a month, but every single time that you do it, it's going to generate you results and meetings and conversations and leads. There's absolutely no question about it. If it didn't, I would not be spending the time sharing this with you all 100%. So let's go ahead and find this. I want to get this to about 8 likes, so just bear with me. And this is the reason why I've created some like random company pages just so I can do stuff like this. And anyone can create a company page by clicking on For Business, going down, create a company page. And that's all. You don't need to put the company page on your experience. It could just be a dummy account that you use for stuff like this. Or it can actually be companies or projects that you set up, right? So yeah, don't need to like it there. Most recent, already aligned. And those who would really like to, feel free to go and find this post and go drop a comment while I'm doing all of this as well. It will work for you too. Okay, let's do one more, just get it to 8 as I wanted. Cool. Now, I want to start the engagement process, and please pay close attention to what I'm doing. I'm going to review the comment. I'm going to add value. I'm going to get involved in the conversation. Then I'm going to go ahead to Nick's profile. I'm going to engage in some of his content. Then I'm going to send him a connection request based on this whole entire past 5 minutes or the next 5 minutes that you're about to see. So let's just go ahead and read through this. Very long comments. I'm just going to quickly skim read this. And pause really quickly. I mentioned this 3 or 4 minutes ago. You're going to see other people actually doing what I'm doing. I guarantee you, based on the headline that Rita has, she's going to try and sell to Nick. She's going to try and do exactly the same thing because she knows this process works. Oh, wrong company page. Just make sure you're on the right profile. And I'm going to really stand out because I know people like Rita and other people are going to be doing the same thing. I need to make sure that I stand out, right? So I'm going to do Leo Cheers GIF. I've got a bunch of GIFs that I utilize. I'm going to go ahead to images. And if you didn't know, you can use GIFs in comments, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and select this GIF. I'm going to save this because I want to make sure that I stand out. I'm going to put that time and energy in to make sure I build a relationship and have a conversation with Nick. Because based on his title and the fact that he owns an agency, I can sell to Nick. There's no question about that. That's easy qualification. The first style of being able to get leads was prospecting. Then you can go ahead and steal clients. Or then you can go ahead and do this. And this is why I didn't record a video so you can actually see my excitement and reaction when I do this, because this is one of my most profitable methods of generating customers. So here you go. All right, let's go for it. Nick. So let's compare my comment to Rita's. Thank you, positive outcome. Imagine what kind world if more people are like you, yada, 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 versus Zach's phenomenal comment, right? I'll get a response from this dude, there's no question. And now I'm not just going to bounce over to the next comment, right? I genuinely need to take the time to build a relationship with Nick. So we're going to implement the client engagement technique and take it one step further by going over to Nick's profile. Let's just analyze and learn about him as much as we can. Crafting brands, fueling growth, contact me to reach your full potential, my ideal type of customer, right? And hopefully this is perfect. This is literally a guaranteed sell for me. 450 followers on LinkedIn, hardly any engagement. I'm gonna rock this guy's world, probably sell him a course for 1,190 euros by the beginning of January, right? Easy, absolutely easy. Why am I so confident? Because I do this every single year consistently. So let's dive in, right? His features section, I want to definitely take a look at what this is going to be. This is his company page. I'm going to go ahead and engage in his company page, give it a follow, drop some love over here. And I'm going to write, wow, this is fire branding. I love the orange. I do, it's true. I'm not lying here. Like, I genuinely like that type of orange. And then let's go back over to Nick's profile and really go heavy on the client engagement. And obviously, I'm just going to take a quick look at comments, and he's actively in there. I think he is implementing this particular technique in Gary's post because he's like commenting on Gary's post a lot, which is great. So someone in the comments just said, but he's Canadian. You said you don't sell much to Canadians. I sell to human beings, right? So I have a preference of where I would like to sell to just because of like easy reasons. But honestly, it doesn't matter where in the world he is, you know? So let's dive in. Show or post. We recently opened up a Facebook page and I would love for you to follow it and like it. Why? Well, for a few reasons. Me and the team are about to open up some great brand services in areas that may not be beneficial to fueling your growth, not just business or personal growth. It doesn't cost you anything on Facebook. Do this. All right, cool. So I'm going to really go out of my way here because I want to build a relationship, right? LinkedIn is my sandbox, Nick. Therefore, I rarely use Facebook. I think I have 2 friends on Facebook. However, pardon me, because you went out of your way to ask your community for support, I'm gonna find my Facebook password and give you guys a follow. Let's do this. And then let's go ahead. Let's get another GIF. Let's do office fist bump GIF. This is gonna generate me sales. This is why I'm putting so much time and energy in. Is a gift, it's a gift. I'm gonna go ahead. And after this, because of the value I'm giving over here, I don't really think I need to continue the engagement process. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna find the page. I'm gonna have to go over to another browser in a second because I don't have Facebook over here. Where is my other browser? Let's see if I have Facebook logged in. If not, I will definitely do it after this workshop. Cool, I'm logged in. So I'm gonna give it a like. How do I give it a follow? Does anyone know? How do I give it a follow? How do I don't. Okay, I guess if I gone to like it, I've given it a follow as well. Default, favorites, notifications. Cool. All right. I'm now giving him a follow, right? And then I'm just gonna take it one step further. Oh, I can't show the guy that I'm on Zoom. So let's just go ahead. Save this. I'm on Zoom, so it's not gonna instantly go to my screenshots. Let me just go ahead and save this. Nick Design Incisions Media. Gonna go back over to LinkedIn if I can find it. And I'm gonna reply to my comment and I'm gonna write done. And I'm gonna do a down emoji. If I close him, right? I'll ask him permission if I can share with you all that I did, and maybe him and I can take a picture and I'll put it out on LinkedIn. I don't know. I like social proof. So that's it, done. And he can see that I've done that. And there we go. So really quickly, just to play it safe, I'm gonna just go ahead and like his stuff. And I'm like, your designs are fire, man. Now, one thing I need to change for Nick, which is going to be a value add that I'm going to provide him during the conversation, is I'm going to let him know. I hope you don't mind me telling this. I hope you don't mind me telling you this. As you're new to LinkedIn, I think it's important someone does. Company pages don't, and it's information for everyone in this room right now and on the recording. Company pages don't perform as powerful as they did 5 years ago. So he is reposting his company page content, which is actually devaluing his reach on the LinkedIn algorithm. So I'm going to make sure that he starts posting content about his company, tags his company in the post, and then reposts it from his company page. So rather than over here it says Nick, then the company name, it would say company name and Nick, because that's going to have a much bigger impact, because his personal brand is more important than his company. And I'm going to tell him this. So cool.
Sorry,
Just
Zach, can
gonna-
you repeat again? I don't think I got this
Okay.
point.
100%. So 5 years ago, company pages on LinkedIn performed very, very, very well, and they went viral. Okay, whenever they put a post out, they'll go viral. So subconsciously, what people learned is their corporate marketing teams, for example, will have a dedicated area of the business that would only create content for their company page. And a lot of businesses are continuing to do this. What I have identified and what I'm going to tell Nick is, unfortunately, in 2024, the LinkedIn algorithm doesn't prioritize posts from company pages on LinkedIn. They prioritize an individual's personal brand. So yourself and everyone else who's on the workshop, your personal brand is more important than your company page. This is why me, for example, I've got 20,000 followers on LinkedIn. I reach over 93,000 engagements and 3 million impressions. And my company page has 480 people that have gone to follow the company page. 99% of them are my clients, right? So they're just supporting me to that element. But the content that goes out, when he is resharing content from the company page, it doesn't get a lot of engagement. But once Nick starts putting out content just for himself, I know it's not a lot, but he's getting a lot more engagement than the reposts that he's sharing. Because genuinely speaking, in addition to what I just said, when you repost with your thoughts like this, it's going to have a very, very, very low reach. When you repost instantly by going ahead to do this, it has a slightly higher reach because it doesn't give you the engagement, it gives the original author the engagement. Does that make sense? I can go through it in a lot more detail in Q&A.
It makes sense, yeah.
Okay, cool, fantastic. So really good question, because I'm sure other people were thinking the same thing. So I'm just going to go and add a few more likes over here because I've already added some valuable comments. And before I go ahead and connect with him, I'm going to see if he's responded. What do you know? Surprise, surprise.
I think that's a woo.
We get the connection request. So that, look, like, this is just proof. And did he send me a connection request? He hasn't. I'm gonna give him a follow now. I'm then gonna give him a connection request. But Nick's just very grateful for the fact that I've gone to follow his company page and openly said this, like, if there's anything he can do for me, let me know. That was a great gesture. Really appreciate it. And I'm like, so how about a Zoom meeting next week to see if we can do some cool stuff together on LinkedIn? I promise you, the first thing he's going to do before he responds to this is he's going to look at my profile. He's going to see that I host events on a regular basis. I get incredibly high engagement, 600 likes, 500 comments, and all of that stuff. So he's going to think, wow, it may be in my benefit if I do some form of collab with Zach. He's not asking for any money over here, not yet at least. And he's probably going to respond. So let's just check the notifications again. He mentioned me in a comment. That's totally fine. I kind of want to wait and see his response before I send a connection request. So I hope you all don't mind. We are going to go over the session now because of this particular situation. So I'm just going to continue, just anticipating I'll do 1 or 2 more comments and see if he responds. So to attract great things, be grateful. You must put great things out there first. Find what makes you happy and be genuinely happy for the people and opportunities that you have, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and repost this. First person ever to repost any of his content. He's going to love me for it. Let me see. Did he respond? Hello, Ken. All right, cool. So, and I'm going to say a lot of people don't appreciate the sentiment of giving without expecting anything in return. It is the #1 way that I've built my business to where it is today. Thank you for sharing this, Nick. More people need your mindset. I appreciate you. So now he sees, after our initial engagement on Gary Vaynerchuk's post, Zach's gone over to his content, he's engaged in his content, he's performed an action that he asked his audience to go ahead and do so. He appreciated that. He asked me what he can do in return. And then even after all of that, I'm still engaging in his content, and I'm going to go ahead and tell him that I'm really happy he's on the LinkedIn platform. He's putting out really good content and his graphics are sick. Let's connect. Let's check the notifications again. Let's just give it another refresh. Okay, that was that one. Okay, cool. He responded in a lot of detail, so I'm going to have to go ahead and respond to this. But I'm going to do something that you're probably not expecting. Even though I believe I've already closed the connection, I'm really going to give him the opportunity to add more value and continue the conversation, because I want this comment to be at the top, right? Because obviously he's now got more engagement than mine. Okay, maybe it hasn't, but look. 2 people who aren't in the workshop, right, who randomly viewed the Gary Vaynerchuk post, they've engaged in that post. But anyways, I'm going to give him the opportunity to be able to add more value. So his comment is at the very top, so more people can go to give him a follow. And then afterwards, I can explain to him the reason why I was responding to so many of your comments on the Gary V post is because I knew more people would become aware of your profile. Everything is psychologically tactical from a sales perspective. It works. There isn't anything wrong or malicious with any of this stuff because you're helping other people grow. So, Nick Libertucci. Okay, let me just read it again. Now, you may think I'm being very manipulative, but I genuinely want to know, right? So just go out of your way, be super friendly, implement these steps, and hopefully Nick has... All right, let's see what happens. He's just 1 moment ago, he's gone to like that comment. We'll probably come back to it at the end of the session and see if Nick and Zach have got a meeting. Oh, and there we go, right? He's invited us to connect, right? So, oh, I really would love to show you all the full process right now. Pick up my phone, record the video, book in a meeting, do all the steps, but we have a lot more to go through. So I'll take some screenshots and I'll give it to you all the next time we all meet. So very exciting. There's proof that this whole thing works. And let's continue with the workshop. Utilizing sales content. I'm going to utilize it for Nick. So it's important I explain to you all how all of this stuff works. Sales content is used to give your prospects confidence in your skills and abilities. There are 4 different types of sales content. Live events is one of the 4 different types of sales content. These are events that you host on the LinkedIn platform. They will forever live on your profile. Audio events are not replayable. Only live events with the video are. There's a live events guide at some point you all are going to get. I think on Friday, actually, it's going to show you step by step how you can actually host live events, what platforms like Restream and StreamYard you can utilize. And during my prospecting and pitching process, I normally ask people a question if they've ever used the LinkedIn premium version, Sales, the Navigator. Either they say yes or no, or I have previously, or it doesn't work for me. So what I would do is I would specifically ask them, I want to show you how good it works. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Question number 1. What geography is your target audience from? What's their job title? What industry are they in? Based on that information, I'm going to go over to Sales and the Navigator, create a search like how I showed you all in the previous session. Going to take a screenshot of the active results of his ideal customer profile. Then I'm going to reply to that message of him answering my 3 questions with that screenshot. Typically at that stage, they're going to say, whoa, like, how did you find that? And I'm going to highlight and pinpoint, you have 12 potential customers that you could pitch right now if you use this platform. And they're going to ask, how did you find all of that out? Then I send them this video. It's a 45-minute tutorial, works like a charm every single time. Regardless of what you sell, everyone needs a thought leadership focused tutorial on one of the elements of the services that you offer. Typically, I wait around an hour and I send them a message and I ask them, how did you find the video? That leads to a meeting. Almost every single time it leads to a meeting. The other 50%, I need to chase them a bit over the next few days because people are busy, but it always works. So that's live events. The next one are recorded videos. A number of people who are in the workshop, who are probably watching the recording, you purchased this operational system because of this live event that I was hosting. Every single Tuesday for the past month.
Hi, I'm Zach Derris.
Prior to this workshop, I was giving out free 1-hour masterclasses on how to utilize the LinkedIn platform as a lead magnet to push people into the workshop. This worked perfectly. So as I was prospecting people and asking them if they would like to join the workshop, I would also say to them, the next clip I'm going to give you is going to give you enough proof to purchase it. And it worked. Now, PDFs. A lot of you may not like to record a video or put live content out there, and that's totally cool. But you can utilize Canva or whatever design tool that you want to go ahead and create a PDF of you sharing your knowledge and your expertise. In the same scenarios that I've just explained right now, PDFs can be utilized to be able to share your expertise as well. So this is a particular one where I'm talking about not everyone uses the LinkedIn platform in the right way. I'm explaining the wrong way of how people do stuff, and then I go ahead to explain the right way and things that they should be doing. And if I can see an opportunity for me to share this PDF with someone, I am never going to hit the send button or copy the link and put it in a post, because it's a live engageable piece of content on my profile. If I send it to someone, they're going to think, forget this whole entire nice conversation I've just had. This person is just giving me a post inside the DM, which may make them think I want engagement on that post. And that's the last thing that I want. Post already has like 500 engagements on it. I don't care about the engagement. I want you to take value from it. So if you're in a position where you don't have 500 engagements on your post, you got 2 or 3, it's even worse for you, because they're going to think that you're just trying to push the engagements and the virality of that post. So what I will do is I will feature, just for that particular conversation, I will feature that post at the very beginning of the featured section of my profile. And throughout the conversation, I will say to that individual, do me a favor, jump on my profile and take a look at the first featured post. There's a bunch of stuff in there that's going to up your LinkedIn game. Then I'm going to disappear. I may even record an audio note to tell them that, rather than actually typing it, to guarantee that they're going to do it, because they're going to have a listen to the audio note. Exactly same steps for text posts. I just threw this in there because more than likely, out of all the people that are in the room and on the recording, you're going to start with a text post rather than creating a PDF or recording a video or doing a live, because it's the easiest one to do. Please use the content styles and format framework, which is in part 1 of the LinkedIn Sales Operating the System, because it's going to detail why your post should look like this. Each of the sentences like this, they're not overlapping each other apart from the first one. You use bullet points and points. I rarely use any emojis apart from over here. This helps people scroll more, which is going to help your reach, but it's very easy to consume. A lot of professional copywriters will tell you that your social media content needs to have a readability age of a 7th grader. So whatever age that is, 11 years old, 12 years old, because it's easier for them to consume. The easier your content is to consume, the easier you can use it as sales content, and the more people are going to benefit from it. So now there's a consistency factor, and I was planning to maybe spend 20-30 minutes on this, but I'm going to just make an offer because we have maybe another half an hour we need to go through. Would anyone like us to take a break for 5 minutes? If you do, if we have the majority of the people in the room put a thumbs up with the reaction button, we'll take a quick 5-minute break. So use that reaction button, put a thumbs up. We've got 1 person, 2. We're going to have to get to like 10 at least. So only 2 people. Cool. 3, 4, 3, 3, 4. All right, cool. We're going to miss the break. I apologize. But for those people, this whole thing is recorded. Feel free to step away for a moment. None of the stuff that I'm teaching you is going to work unless you are extremely consistent, because yes, it's a lot of stuff. Some of you may have been overwhelmed by part 1 of the workshop that was presented to you last week, because I gave you a 127-page step-by-step guide on absolutely every single element that you can implement over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years of your growth online. So it's important, especially with those with ADHD like myself, right, to externalize your time and to use your calendar so you can then generate consistent booked meetings just like this. I'm easily, from prospecting that I've done over the pipeline of the past year and all of these steps, I'm generating 3 or 4 hot leads every single week coming into my inbox from Calendly. Because the questions are good on Calendly, the engagement process works, I add value, I utilize sales content, I've identified them in the right way, so I know that I'm consistently never going to have a month, touch wood, where I'm not going to make any money. But how do you handle all of this stuff? I use like a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Enthusiastic example for what I'm about to show you. But I'll get to that in a minute. But you need to use your calendar to be able to document absolutely every single element of your day so you can stay organized and you can be the maximum productive version of yourself. So consistency generates a bigger impact. So I'm suggesting that you post at least 1 to 2 times a day. Your posts don't need to take you 20 minutes or an hour to write. The best posts, the most viral pieces of content that I have ever created is when I'm in line at Costa Coffee or Starbucks for 1 or 2 minutes. I just pick up my phone, I write some stuff, and I hit send. They are my most viral pieces of content. Impulsive content works well. Trust your gut. More meetings. You should be pitching at least 10 people a week. The process I just implemented on Nick, right? You need to be doing that 10 times a week. That's not a lot. You will close deals, regardless if your ticket size is $100, $1,000, or $100,000. Do it, and you will see results. And everything's just going to come full circle because you're going to generate more clients. And your aim to start with is to close at least 3 clients a month. In September, in August for September, I closed about 24, and 4 of them were 2-hour consultations, and the rest of them were the workshops that I host because of this process. If it works for me, it's 100% going to work for you. Stay consistent. You must be organized. Here is my consistency development process that I'm going to share with all of you right now. Let me just make sure the sound is on. I've put this on at 8 times fast speed. If anyone would like me to slow this down for them, I can give you the slow down version. But the principle is very straightforward, and you're going to understand exactly what I'm trying, what kind of message I'm trying to get across here. So it's important, first of all, to document all the tasks that you are requiring of yourself every single month in a Word, in like a Google Doc or a Word as a document. Write everything down. And these are not tasks that you need to do every single day. That will come in addition, right? These are stuff that regardless of the month, you have to perform these exercises every single day. So these are the non-negotiables completely. So let's have a look. After you've done the documentation of stuff, you're going to start adding these things to your Calendly. So enjoy and take a look. So that was like a very enthusiastic example, and my calendar currently doesn't look like this. It has previously looked like this 100%, especially when I'm on like really heavy prospecting cycles. But currently, because I have absolutely everything on lock, my calendar typically looks like this. So I typically would start work around 10:30, 10:30, and I finish work every day around 7 p.m. One thing you will come to notice on the example that I gave over here and also on my main calendar is that I don't work on the weekends, and nobody needs to work on the weekend. If you tell yourself you're overloaded with work, you need to do it. No disrespect, you're just not managing your time properly, right? We all have a life outside of work, and it's important that you don't work on the weekends. And in addition to that, for the majority of December, because I'm really family orientated, I don't work. So after this workshop is over on Friday, I'm done for the whole entire year. And the whole month of October, I don't work. So I haven't always been in this position, but thankfully by implementing this time externalization techniques, by implementing all the stuff that are provided to you in the system, you can get to a luxury standpoint of really controlling what hours you work and when you work. So hopefully you all took value from that. It was like an additional thing I just felt really necessary to throw into the workshop. And the final section, and then we will wrap up for today, is going to be your first sales call. I'm going to go through this slowly, and obviously during the Q&A, if anyone has more in-depth questions about this, we can go through this. But the final part of the workshop is really focused on the sales process, because you have the frameworks, the processes, the templates from part one. You understand the engagement and the booking meetings process because of this session here today. So the final part is really closing the deal and getting paid. Structuring your first sales call is extremely important, that if you can, not all of you to begin with are gonna be able to do this, and I definitely was not able to, but eventually you need to get yourself to a point where you're not spending any longer than 20 minutes on a prospecting call. Your time is money. Value and respect and appreciate your time, because the one thing we will never get back in this beautiful life that we have is time. We can make more friends or more money or anything else and more memories, but you cannot get time back. During your 20-minute sales call, spend 70% of the time listening and 30% of the time pitching. Great sales trainers will tell you exactly the same thing. You want to break this down into 8 key elements, which are a warm introduction, 1 to 2 minutes, and then dive in with, I noticed on Calendly, you mentioned, and then go into their answers that they've provided you based on the Calendly questions that you've asked during the booking process. Then learn what their primary focus is. Ask them, what are you prioritizing right now? Then ask them what their struggles are. You're in a safe space where it's just the two of you on that call, and people will be open based on how you've asked these questions in Calendly. If you have not asked them the right qualifying questions, this whole process isn't going to work. Once you've understood their goals, you want to walk them through your deck, explain to them that you're going to email it to them, and then 99% of people do not do this. I was forced to do this as a telesales rep back in 2010, and I've never changed this process ever since. Always have your next call scheduled. Always on that call. You've got 3 goals in this first sales call. Understand about them, present your services, book in the next call. So your sales call, your first sales call should look like this. For about 1 minute, you want to do a warm intro. Then for about another 1 minute, you want to mention the Calendly questions. Then for about 5 minutes, 4 minutes, you want to give them the opportunity to explain why they're struggling with the things that you asked them. So my questions would be, what areas would you like to improve? Content, sales, lead generation. Ask them, why are they struggling with content engagement? Why are they struggling with generating sales? Then give them about 2 minutes to actually explain. And then after that, you want to spend another few minutes asking them for more information about their business. So for example, it will be a very smooth transition from, okay, so tell me, why is it a struggle? Like, just really go in and tell me. Now, I'm really interested to understand, what are the services that you provide? Who is your ideal customer profile? Learn from them. And then you want to ask them what they've already tried, right? And if it's stuff that you sell, ask them if they've had any experience with being able to work with any marketing agencies, if they've had anyone build them out a site before, if they've had any recruiters find them staff before, like whatever the question is, ask them what they've previously tried. And then, as you can see, we're already 12 minutes into the 20-minute call. That's when we're going to ask them, can you show them something? No one's going to say no, because they know there's still another 8 minutes for the call. They're going to say yes. But why this is important is because you're asking their permission to pitch them. You're asking for their permission to sell to them. You share your deck on the screen. This is why it's important that you use the pitch deck template if you want to, the one that I gave you, and you have a deck that's very easy for you to walk people through. And you show them your success. You show them all the stuff that you're good at. And then you ask them a very important question. Is this going to help them? Do you think what I showed you could potentially help you? Remember, on the pitch deck, we've included our prices. Our prices are affordable. So by them answering yes, it's telling you that they've got the money to pay you. And then you're going to let them know that you're going to email it over to them. You're going to schedule a follow-up call as well on that call. And then you're just going to do a warm intro. It was really good talking to you today. And there's one important thing that you're going to ask. And that moves on to knowing what questions to ask your prospect. First of all, you want to set the tone. Always bring up the Calendly questions and pull from them, and never ask closed questions. Never ask yes or no questions, because then it's a 70% you talking and 30% them being sold to, and that's something you never want. You want to always focus on them and ask questions that are pulling from them and it's focused on you learning about them. And you want to trust your gut. If you feel, and if you have the time available to do so, if you feel that you're close to getting a warm response from them or closing the deal, then ask them if they have another 20 minutes to continue talking. I would say that in a way that I don't have a call after this until the top of the hour, and I'm really enjoying this conversation. I know we only had 20 minutes booked in, but if you want, I'm more than happy to hang around for another 20 minutes. And typically they say yes. Then you want to test the water. This one question that I implemented back when I was a telesales agent has revolutionized how I sell to people today. And it's the reason why I've sold to over 6,670 people in my lifetime. I'll always ask them if they took value from the call. And you have to ask them at the very end. So as I mentioned over here, the warm intro, that's where I normally throw it in. I ask them, just out of interest, have I provided you any value today? And if I haven't, they will openly tell me, no, I knew all of this stuff. I didn't benefit at all. I'm like, okay, cool. Right. Well, either way, I had a nice conversation. So thank you so much. But if they say yes, it's like, all right, if you took value from this, I promise you, I didn't even scratch the surface. I intentionally held a lot back because there's so much more to go through. For the service offerers and consultants in the room, that's going to be a massive deal breaker for you. And finally, be in control. When asking for the next call, do not ask them to suggest a time and date. That's going to take the power out of your hand. It's going to give them the control. You make a suggestion. So for example, if I'm talking to you today and I know that I have an availability because I'll check my calendar on Tuesday at 12 p.m., I'm going to say to that person, I'm actually free on Tuesday at 10 p.m. at 10 a.m., never at 10 p.m. At 10 a.m. for us to have another call. Does that work for you, or do you prefer to talk on the Thursday? I've got around 2:30 available currently. Be in control. Now, and this is the final point, there are some post-call actions that you need to implement. Email, schedule a call, the LinkedIn message, the opportunity, and engagement. I'll break these down. Once you're done with that call, allow Calendly to buffer you 5 minutes after a call so that you do not forget to send them an email straight away. This email needs to be very straight and forward. Hey, Tom, thanks for talking today. As discussed, here's my deck. I look forward to speaking to you on the 8th. Best, Zach. That's how all my next steps emails are every single time. Then you want to go into your calendar, you want to send them the invite for the next call after you've sent the email, and normally wait like 60 seconds to 120 seconds afterwards, so 1 to 2 minutes, just so they don't miss the email that you've just sent them. So send the email, go ahead and slowly schedule the next one, and then they'll receive the email, they'll receive the calendar invite for the next call. Once you've done that, you want to go over to LinkedIn and send them a DM to say, great chat today. I pinged you over an email and a calendar invite. And now, this is the fun bit, the opportunity. Depending on what you sell, the opportunity is going to be very, very, very different. I'll give you my example in a moment. But in between the moment that you've sent them the email, the scheduled call, and the LinkedIn message, and the next call, you want to find an opportunity to either invite them to an event or share some valuable content with them that you think would actually benefit them. So maybe the next day after the call, I may take the sales content that I've showed you of the YouTube clip of my 2024 sales strategy and drop it to them in a DM on LinkedIn, because that's where we initiated the conversation. And I will say to them, by the way, I forgot to share this with you yesterday. It will really help you out. Take a look. Or, by the way, this will give you a good taste of what it's like to work with me. Cool. Or if you're going to be hosting a live event, invite them to the live event. Steve, I'm going to be hosting this event the day before we meet. I think it'll be really cool for you to see me in action. And then engagement. I've already mentioned this before, but even though you've already got the meeting, stay consistent, continue engaging in their content. All right. Time for some homework. I bet you think I'm going to tell you to do 101 things, build out your calendar, do this, prospect 50 people. No, all I want you to do is create one piece of sales content. It can be a text post, a video, a live event, a Canva PDF, whatever it is. I would recommend the text post, right? But find something valuable that you can talk about regarding your skill set that you have. Right? If you're a recruiter, you can make a post that says something along the lines of 5 steps every recruiter needs to take in the next 6 months, right? If you're a content creator, you need to write a post along the lines of these 5 things are going to help, these 5 things are going to help you improve your content for 2024, right? If you do what I do and you're in sales, 5 reasons why salespeople are not succeeding on the LinkedIn platform. All right. Feel free to turn on your cameras. I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you to everyone who was live in the room today and to everyone who joined on the recording. I'll see you on Friday for the final part of the LinkedIn Sales Operating System, part 3, where we're going to talk all about closing the deal, getting paid, and the upsell. See you soon. Bye.